Welcome back to the Ram, man. Episode 35. What's up, Rudy? What's up, Nate?
What's going on, Nate? It's been a long time. I have not seen you.
What's up? What's up? Chilling, man.
How everyone doing today?
Yeah, a little stuffy.
We good.
You sick, bro?
Bruh, it's cold out here, bro. I ain't used to this, man.
Wait, it's snowing?
Hey, it ain't snowing, but it's like 40. So I'll be getting sick, man.
Man, all right, but let's get started, man. So NFL draft, past weekend, man. Shedeur Sanders slipped fifth round, 144th pick in the draft, and also get a prank call on draft day. What you think about that, Nate?
Man, I'm just shocked like everybody else. Like, come on, bro. He's at least a top 10 pick. Everybody had him top 10 at least, And just to see him go all the way to fifth is crazy. And then that prank call, it was a little funny, but like it ain't really that funny because you playing with a dude life. Like that ain't funny, man. He waited patiently, and then you got this dude, college kid, reading iPads and getting numbers out. Like that was a private number. Like I don't know. I feel like he should have sued him for that because like that's a private number. He didn't want just anybody getting that number. But yeah, that was messed up.
What you think, Rudy?
I mean, like you said, Nate, it was a surprise for everybody who was, watching the draft and waiting for Sanders' son to get drafted as early as first or second round because this is the resume that he has. Obviously, I'm not a big football fan, but I was watching the draft. It was a little bit disappointing for him to have waited for like fourth until fifth round for him to get picked. Knowing, he's Sanders' son, we all know the history of Sanders, the cachet that he has in the NFL, and to see his son to have created the reputation that he has created, we all were waiting for him to get drafted in the second round. I think it was a little disappointing that he get drafted in the fifth round. But it looks right now, to be honest with you, it looks like a Cinderella, kind of like stories. I think that he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back and continue to create a name for himself because he already shown that the quarterback that he can be, the skill that he has, and of course he has inherited the charisma of his dad. So we already have a taste of what he can be, the quarterback that he can be. So I think it's just gonna turn out to be a Cinderella story for him. We can't wait.
What do you think about the prank call?
About what?
The prank call that recently happened to him on draft day.
The prank call?
Yeah. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it though.
Okay. Let me I'm gonna get the video for you.
Hello. You got that call? You know what's going on? Ready to go. Say that one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you. Ready to go.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Ready to go. What does that mean? What? What did he say? I don't know. How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone? You heard that? He said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Hey, you got to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna turn out to be a Cinderella story because this dude, obviously anybody who watches football and understands football, it's not just he's Deion Sanders' son, but this dude, he has the skill to make a name for himself in the NFL, and I think this is exactly what will happen.
But other players got prank call also, probably from the same person.
No way he did. He did multiple.
Yeah, he did multiple people.
Supposedly. Oh wow. He got in trouble?
He can't get in trouble.
Dang.
The only person who could really get in trouble is the dad.
Yeah. Dang.
But I also feel like it's a setup. It has to be.
What you mean? Set up for what?
There's no way he could go in his dad laptop and said, okay, let me go into emails and check the guy's numbers.
Yeah. He said it was open.
It's open, exactly. But no,
And I don't know
that's
what they
messed
got
that's
going
that's
on.
messed up. Because I mean, like I said, the NFL trying to prove a point. Like Rudy said, he's Deion Sanders' son.
I mean, you see how they celebrated so much, and he was a fifth round pick. The NFL had him in the pin on Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like he's still
Like
making noise.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because he's a fifth pick and he's like pinned on the NFL app.
Crazy.
I never seen that before. Never in my life seen a fifth pick pin on the NFL app. Never.
Yeah.
It's always the first, but they don't give the respect of the first round pick.
Yeah. I mean, they did it to Cam Ward.
What you mean?
You said they only do it to the first?
They usually only do it for the first.
Oh, yeah. True.
First, second, or third.
Yeah.
But this situation, they got Sanders number 1 on the board.
Crazy.
But on to the next though. So first round, Warriors defeated Rockets 109-106. Warriors go up 3-1. Now Nate, should Houston trade Jalen Green to add another superstar with Sagoon?
I mean, he had a good game before, like it was just Van Vliet's game. Like that was his game. He was hot. But I don't think trading him. I feel like they should just keep building on this. You got Thompson now, like young guys. You got young guys around it, so it ain't like you got old people. I feel like they probably gonna lose the series, but it's a learning moment. They should use it as a learning moment, get better from it.
What you say, Rudy?
Well, to answer your question, I don't think they should. If they want to, they can, but I don't think they should because we're looking at Jalen Green. He has the potential to become not a superstar, but I think a star in the league because we all sitting there marveling about his skill. The skills that he has. He can shoot the ball. He can drive to the basket, and he has some kind of he has some color and some sauce to his game as well. You know what I mean? So the last thing that you want as a franchise is to, trade somebody like that, and then it turns out to be a story just like Shea Alexander that we see, was happening in the Oklahoma City. So he was drafted by the Clippers, and then whatever the reason, they sent him to Oklahoma City, and now we're sitting there looking at him as the MVP of the league and on the verge of making at least the Western Conference Final. You don't want a situation like that. It's always good to use a little bit more patience when it comes to young players like that because sometimes they got lost in the clouds where, yes, they have the skill, but it takes them longer for them to understand the magnitude of the position and play as such. You know what I mean? So I think if I were part of the franchise, I would not want to trade him, although he gives sometimes reason to do so. But I think I would be a little bit much more cautious, in regards to trading somebody like him.
Okay, so Rudy, answer this question. How long you think they should wait?
I mean, it's not even how. I don't think it's a matter of length of time. It's a matter of, I think, progress and the mindset. Because, like I said, when it comes to youth, I mean, young players like that, with the type of talent that he has, I think he's 6'5", pretty much the same height as Alexander. Can you imagine just one day? I mean, I know that character is character, intangibility. You cannot teach this; it has to be within you. But can you imagine this dude waking up with the, I would say, the Mamba mentality? He already has the skill. So we're looking at somebody like that can become easily another Shea Alexander. You know what I mean? You don't want to miss on this opportunity. So I think give him next year or give him 2 more years to see if he can develop his character. I think he's not lacking skill. I think what he's lacking character. He's lacking He's lacking kind of like responsibility. He's lacking like the ego. I'm not gonna get punked by the Warriors. I'm not gonna sit there and just let my team down like that. Just like last night, just like not the previous game, but the very first game in the series. You know what I mean?
Nah, he
Because
been playing bad for 3 out of 4 games.
I mean, well, they played a fourth game last night. I think during
Yeah,
the
8
series, there
points.
was only one game that he played good, which was the second one. And it
Yeah.
was after a disaster, a fiasco in the first game. I think he needs the game that he played in the second. I mean, the way that he played in the second game, he needs this kind of mentality every night. Because he made the Warriors defense in the second game. He made the Warriors defense look like nothing whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing whatsoever. This dude was pulling threes from half court, drive to the basket, pass the ball, assist the ball, rebounding. He was doing pretty much everything. You know what I mean? But we need more of this on a consistent basis. This is what we need. I think he probably has to have somebody sitting down with him, helping understand the context and the potential that he has for him to even to not only represent his team, but also be part of the top 5 or top 10 players in the league. He has the potential for this.
For me, I'm gonna disagree with y'all because I think they should trade him this offseason. I feel like they give him. He been in the league for what, 5 or 6 years now.
They number 2.
Huh?
They number 2 in the West.
Yeah, I mean he's a good regular season player.
Oh wow.
I mean, I get it. I get it's his first time in the playoffs, stuff like that. But he's not showing up in the playoffs. Houston, right? Houston, like literally could be a jump away from a championship team. Literally.
And you think trading one of your best pieces because Sagoon is out of him or Sagoon as the best player?
No. You trade Jalen Green. You just get another guy who's capable of scoring just like that.
What other guy? Or
I mean,
exactly
I
what
mean,
the question is,
for me, I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing, RJ. Here's the thing. Here's the problem when it comes to trading. Trading is just like using the analogy: the grass is always green on the other side. You can be far away and looking at the grass, thinking that it's green, but when you get close, you'll be like, "Oh my God, this is not what I thought."
Yeah, of course.
The Clippers. I just bring the Clippers. I just brought the analogy of Shea Alexander. Trust me, if they give him the space and the time for him to grow, I mean, chances are that he probably would not have become the player that he is. But he had the skill. Combine this with the mentality. We're looking at Jalen Green. He has all the skill. Matter of fact, you can't even argue that he has a better shot, than Alexander. Alexander, I mean, mid-range, of course, is just water. But when it comes to 3, Alexander cannot shoot or do not shoot the wide range threes.
It's tough.
Jalen Green can light you up from way downtown. You know what I mean? When you have a young player with that level of talent, you don't mess around and trade them like this just the fact that they don't have a good year. You know what I mean? So players grow at their own pace. But if I were part of the administration, I would wait a little longer. I probably, would sit down and have a conversation with him. I probably would shift things around and see if we can have, or if we can hone a better version of his game and see what happened. Because not many people are there for you to trade for, or who even willing to trade him for, because he has the potential. When we're talking about potential, it's not everybody can assess this. You know what I mean? It takes a little, a patience. It takes a little ingenuity for you to give the chance to players like him. I don't think I would do that though.
I don't know. It's a for me.
RJ want him gone. That's what it is.
Because, bro, Houston on the verge, they could be like a really, really great team.
Bro, where were they at 2 years ago? They're at the bottom of the West.
I mean, they got their pieces.
Give it time.
They got in the draft.
Give it one more year. This year, learning year.
So next year, if he doesn't improve, trade him. No, you telling me?
I mean, you gotta see how he do, see how he perform, and then go from there.
What if he performed the same way?
And if he
But
performed the same, well, go ahead.
Because he's so nonchalant in his game.
Yeah, that's the thing that he has to learn. He got to learn to be more aggressive.
But he only took 8 shots last night. He was 3 for 8, 8 points.
Yeah,
You're the second best player on the team. Probably could be first some days.
yeah. I mean, like I
RJ,
said, Van Vliet though was going crazy though.
yeah, RJ, and again, this is the danger in trading young talent like that, because a lot of times young talent like that, they just lost in the cloud. They just lacking perspective. But you cannot be dismissive of the skill that they spent their entire life to build. You know
No,
what I
of
mean?
course not.
So yeah. So what happened? The other side, what they will look at, okay, yeah. So he's not where he's at. So we all know
Yeah.
this, and therefore we will not give our best shot on him because he's not where he's at. But you, who are closer, who knows and understand the talent that he has, how about you just put a little much more juice, much more patience, or much more encouragement in what he does? It's not that you're sitting there babysitting him, but you can groom him into the players that he can become. We see this stories develop in the entire NBA when a team believe in you and help you, build the character the necessary character for you to become the top dog in the league. Trust me, championship grow out of this.
So let me ask you
Yeah.
this question, right? Say if you don't do good, right? You call Miami right now for Tyler Hero. Would you do it?
Was that?
You call Miami right now for Tyler Hero. Would you do it?
No.
Okay.
Tyler Hero for Jalen Green. Are you crazy?
No, okay.
They gonna have to give up a lot. The Heat don't even have that much to give up. Like they can't give up.
Not really.
Are you serious for Jalen Green?
Probably not.
Oh, wow. Rudy, what you think?
I
No,
mean,
he
I
said
don't,
he
I don't
said
even think that it's necessary because I'm looking at both of them. They are kind of in the same, scenario, because you're looking at Tyler, the same kind of players. Although he's kind of like undersized as relatively to Jalen Green, but he has the shot. He can drive the basket. He has shown that he can be, Kobe-like when it comes to his mentality and character. I just don't think that he has a physique enough for him to be the top
Who?
dog. So I don't think initiating a trade between him and Jalen Green would be that much profitable for both teams.
Tyler Hero's good on a bad team. Jalen Green's good on a good team. That's end of the story. It's much
no. You
different.
can't say that. Jalen
What?
Green what he been doing like
He's
what
the
you just
second
said.
best
Jalen
player.
Green,
He's the second best player
like what you just told me a couple minutes ago. What did Jalen been doing for the past 5 years?
for the past 5 years. What you mean?
He been in the
I
league for
mean, he's
5
been
years at
growing
least.
at his own pace, RJ.
Yeah.
Man,
And
I
they
don't
good.
know.
They're good now. Can't knock that.
True.
RJ, like I said, there's much room
Yeah,
for
more to
improvement
improvement.
on both cases, But you have to give. I mean, I think you have to lean toward Jalen Green. The fact that one, he's
He
in the
just he
West, and
just he
second,
just
he's still in the
so
playoff, and
inconsistent.
third, they were second seed in the Wild West.
He's just so inconsistent, man.
RJ,
Like
you don't speak up, RJ. I have to pay too much attention to you to hear.
how you can't hear me? Nate can hear me. Nate, you can
You
hear me,
say you
Nate?
gotta talk up. Yeah.
No,
Say it with
I'm
your
telling you,
chest.
RJ. Usually, I can hear you better. Usually,
Oh, let me say something.
you just got to put some bass in your voice, RJ. I don't know. You didn't
Nigga,
get some.
boys.
Say it with your chest, bro.
You can hear me now?
Go ahead.
But on to the next one. So another first round game, man. Cavs beat Heat 4-0. What's the next for Miami? And what does Bam need to improve his game?
I'll let Rudy go.
Well, RJ, I was watching the game last night. My heart was broken because I picked the Heat not just to win the game, but to show some level of competition. And I would say we can summarize that the game was over after the first quarter. The Cavs yeah, scored like over 40 points, and the Heat was under, I think, under 20. It was a total fiasco by the whole Heat culture. I think that's no longer in existence. So watching the Cavs sweeping the Heat and watching the OKC in the West sweeping, um, the um, the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. I think what does tell you, it tells you that we all basketball fans, we were wrong because for 2 years straight, we watching this team doing what they do in the regular season, and then we keep poo-pooing them, thinking that when they get to the playoff, they're not going to represent. So what we see happening right now is a complete anathema of what we all thought that okay, they're gonna come in the playoff and just disappear. They both team they swept. I think it's kudo for them. I think that I'm looking at the OKC. I think conference finals. That's the at least. I mean, they will make it to conference finals. I'm not sure for the Cavs because obviously they have Boston. And then if they face somebody like even New York, I think New York can give them a hard time. So, huh? You don't think so?
Nah.
I do think so. Trust me. So, um, so I think we all should apologize to both of of this team for what they've been able to do so far.
Not everybody. We got evidence of the podcast where I said they will be good.
Who?
RJ. Me. I said the
Saying
Cavs.
who?
The
Me
Cavs.
too. Me too.
Oh, okay. But
Me too.
you was
I
also one of
said
them. You said they
no,
don't
no,
show up
no,
in the
no,
playoffs. You
no.
said
I
they don't
said,
show up in the
listen.
playoffs.
I said if they go get a wing defender, a good wing defender who's 6'8", 6'9", they'll be all right.
Who you talking
And
about? Hunter?
guess what? They got Hunter. What Hunter? He been balling for them off the bench.
Yeah, but he's the reason they're dominating like this. No.
He's the reason they will compete in the playoffs. Because for them to go against Boston and Knicks, you need wing guys. They don't
Yeah.
have they don't have wing defenders. The only
They
wing
got
defender they got
Cares.
is he's not there no more.
Uh,
He's
Nate,
in the
I mean,
Hawks.
what happened, and I'm taking responsibility to blame myself and blame anyone who had poo-pooed on them before. But the reason for this is not that we hated them. It's not that we don't want them to be successful. The reason for it is because when you're looking at the history of the game, and especially the way that both of the team went down last year, we're looking at them. We thought of them as okay, y'all be good, very good in the regular season, but how about the post? I mean, the playoff. What is it that you're going to do? I myself, I personally don't trust Donovan Mitchell in crunch time. That's the reason why that I had a little trepidation on the Cavs being successful in the postseason. So OKC obviously with Shea, they showing a totally different face this year by sweeping the Grizzlies. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, but we poo-pooed on them because of the history of the game, and especially the leaders, that the kind of leaders that they have. But thankfully, I'm very happy for them. This is not how it's not looking the same this year, and we can foresee the OKC making it to the conference finals at least.
So what about you, Nate? What you think was next from Miami Heat?
They got to change. They got a lot to change, man. A lot to change. I mean, they got some good young guys, but I feel like they thought they was gonna do something, adding Wiggins. Like, I don't know, man. They need to, like you said, Bam. he gotta be more aggressive. He gotta. I don't know, man. He just out there just rebounding and playing passive. Like, yo, you gotta dominate, bro. If you want to get to that next jump for not only himself but for the team, he gotta show up more. Tired of him
Um,
taking the back seat. What?
I I disagree because when you're looking at the Heat, Nate, there's not one person per se that you can target or scapegoat for the early departure or the sweep from the Cavs. Obviously, the Cavs are the Cavs. Their record already show. The record can speak for themselves. They've been very consistent throughout the entire regular season. Coming, postseason and facing a team like the Heat that just removed their first best player in Jimmy Butler, and it's not that's not too disappointing. They finagle their way they went from the back door to make it to the playoff by beating both Chicago and Atlanta. That was the best they could have done, you know what I mean? Because they were
Yeah.
lacking their first best player, you know what I mean? So we don't sit there looking at Tyler Hero as good as he is. We don't look at him as a first option on any team. You know what I mean? He has the skill, but he doesn't have the experience, he doesn't have the size, he doesn't have the height for it. Bam Adebayo, yes, he has the height and the size, but he doesn't have more skill. He's just a big man, and any big man, you need a first guy. So they lacking this in the Miami. So of course, when you bring somebody Wiggins, what is it that he's going to do? He's not a first, he's not a second, hell, he's not even a complete third. You know what I mean? He's just an okay player that can play some level of defense, but you have to have an establishment already for him to thrive. So if you don't have it, it
Agreed.
becomes kind of like meaningless. It's not a knock on him, but that's just the reality of it come postseason. He's only 6'4", the most six
He's not
five,
6'4".
No, he's
barely,
not 6'4".
6'3",
He's about
6'4".
6'8". He's about
He's about
6'8".
6'8", 6'9".
Who?
Andrew
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Bro, I don't know what y'all look at. Andrew Wiggins is not LeBron's height. Let's just
Andrew
get this
Bro,
straight.
Wiggins.
yes
Are
he
Okay,
you
LeBron is
is.
crazy?
6'8".
He might be
Okay, so
6'9".
here's my point. My point is he don't have the skill. He don't have the 3-point shooting ability for him to be meaningful on a team like the Heat currently structured. It is what it is. The Cavs have been what they have been. So there's no chance that Miami would survive against them. It's not a knock on either of them. I think next year what they have to do, they have to look for a first option. I don't know who that is. It is. I mean, I don't want to talk about KD,
Jalen
but
Green.
they have to look. They have to fetch for a first option combined with Bam, and then Tyler Hero.
KD.
Now, hey,
I
now
mean,
if
it's
they
a
get
possibility
KD,
because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be out there. But the reality is that I don't think he's going to take the pledge, starting with a new team where he's gonna be the first guy, and then if the ship
Nah.
sink, he's gonna be the one responsible. I don't think KD is about that life.
No,
He's
I
not
heard
making no
KD.
move if it does it. KD is not making no move is if the victory is not guaranteed.
I heard KD might.
that's true.
It's a big chance he might go to the Mavericks.
It's a possibility, yeah.
That's one of his teams. They said that's his option.
That would be tough.
They will look good.
Of course.
But
So
Kyrie, he got to come back though.
they said Kyrie coming back mid after the All-Star.
Hey,
I mean, that'll be a good timing to like
they're gonna
get
have
some
to
playing.
make playoff. Yeah, keep
But
a
you still
good
got
record.
you still got AD.
AD and KD, but you need a guard. You need a guard.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they could work because some games they were like close and like they were close into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if AD stay healthy.
But
Knock
they
on
gonna
wood,
lose.
but
So I wonder who they gonna lose though. If they get KD, they gonna lose somebody.
they probably lose Gafford.
He,
They probably lose
Gafford.
yeah. You have
You
to.
can't get rid of Gafford.
Well, you gotta
You
give
got it.
something to get
Something.
something.
Exactly.
So AD back at the 5?
No, you got Lively.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
still got
yeah.
Lively.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to give up one of them.
Dang. And PJ, probably PJ too.
Yeah. I mean,
You got to give up PJ.
yeah, because he's young.
Same position.
So you're gonna keep Marshall. Yeah. Because Marshall could play that's a
Was he
big
playing the
lineup.
1? Was he playing the 1?
No, he wasn't playing the one, but he was like in that position like Draymond for them sometimes.
If he was at the 1, he could play the 1 though.
I mean, they still need a guy who could pass though.
Him, Clay, KD, AD, Lively. That's a crazy lineup.
That's a tall team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
make
tall team.
noise.
Yeah,
They'll
they'll
be
make noise. They make
they'll,
probably like I say 4th seed.
yeah,
As
they'll beat the
if
Lakers. Yeah.
As if AD stay healthy.
For sure beating the Lakers though.
Relax. But on to the next though.
Rudy.
So we got Knicks versus Detroit Pistons. Yeah, I messed that shit up.
Hey, that was a good game though.
So we got Knicks versus Detroit Pistons. Knicks up 3-1. How mad should Pistons be about the official missed call at the end of the game 4?
Shoot. Should be pissed, bro. Everybody that play basketball knows that's a foul, bro. You pump fake, he jumps. As soon as he jumps, it's the player jumps into him to shoot. It's a foul. I don't care if you got your hands straight up. It don't matter. It's a foul. Even Josh Hart was like, hey, the ref didn't call it. Bro, that's crazy, bro. That cost the game.
What you think, Rudy?
I mean, it's one of those moments in basketball where you sit there and be like, "Oh my God, you just wish a brother would." But that's just part of the game. The referee not perfect. You know what I mean? And it's very upsetting if you are a Pistons fan, because obviously we all who watch basketball understand basketball, saw what happened. But the referee, they not perfect. They're not going to be perfect. It's just one of those moments that you just sit there and just take the L. You know what I mean? It sucks, but you just take the L.
This equivalent to when KD tried to save the ball for the Warriors and he stepped like 3 feet out of bounds. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the refs don't just call it like, come on, bro. You can't. Come on, bro. They both is obvious. That's a foul.
That's the game against Houston.
Yeah.
Remember 2 years ago when the Lakers were playing the Celtics at
LeBron.
Madison Square Gardens, when LeBron was fouled at the very last,
No, Boston. In Boston.
Yeah. So they
No,
fouled.
you said
Tatum
Madison Garden.
fouled LeBron James, and the referee just closed their
bro.
eye. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing the other night also when the Lakers were playing. Austin Reeves.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this question, bro. Since when they have a camera on the top of the hoop?
What they call it, the Hawkeye or something like that?
Bro, since when they had a camera on top of the hoop?
Hey.
So that was very upsetting, because you can tell that the whole call itself was very intentional, because if you're looking at the totality of the game, there's a couple of times where the referee could have gone back and just look at the foul. Say, for instance, when Austin Reeves passed the ball to LeBron James and whoever's foot deviated the ball, right? The ball deflect from whoever's foot. I don't remember who that was. And the referee went, nope, we're not looking at it. We just move on. You know what I mean? That's game-shifting moment. Things of that nature. But ultimately, that's part of the game. You have to be on your A+ game for you to win game in atmosphere like that. It's not gonna be easy. It's play of time. You're on the road. You gotta buckle up, dust yourself up, and be at your best behavior for you to win.
But I never seen a camera up there, bro. Never.
Yeah, that was
it's technology.
It should have been Lakers ball.
He fouled him. What you mean? He
No,
fouled
bro.
him. Clear as day.
LeBron had both the ball and the hand. You know
He
what I
had
mean? The
straight
thing is, here's
hand.
the thing. The reality of it, Anthony Edwards' hand was around the ball, not cover the ball. It was like this on the side of the ball. LeBron came right here in the middle and get the ball, both the
He
ball
came right
and
in
the
the middle.
hand. As
Are you serious? You
if
said he went right in the middle.
Yeah, it was right. So
Oh.
the thing is, here's the thing, Nate. Here's the thing. If Ant's hand were like this on top of the ball, it would have been like just, of course, straight foul. But Ant's hand were like this around the ball. So which means that when LeBron's slapping the ball, of course he's gonna touch your hand. That just your hand is part of the ball also. You cannot be that technical as a referee, especially down the stretch of the game and a game of that magnitude. I think it was very intentional. I mean, not to take nothing away from all the mistakes that the Lakers made, and especially Luka. We will have to address this in further more in the episode. But I think the call itself was very intentional.
Man,
So
this is the delusion I be talking about, bro, from y'all LeBron fans. Rudy, you just said the man had the ball like this, and LeBron hit nothing but the
No,
ball.
I didn't. No,
no,
that's not what I said. You're not paying attention. I'm saying
Go
that
ahead.
and okay. So if the ball and hand was not like this on the ball,
Yeah, it's on the side.
it was like this on the ball, and LeBron was not coming here. LeBron was coming this way. This is not what
So
I'm saying.
you gotta hit the hand.
No. It's
He's
not.
saying he hit
LeBron
the
didn't just
hand with
hit
the
the
ball.
hand.
The hand
He
with the
hit the
ball.
hand and the ball. And matter of fact, he hit more of the ball.
So if
And
I'm
the
shooting
fact
it,
that, and here's the thing, Nate. Here's the thing. I'm telling you, it was just intentional for them to call the foul. Because the reality of it, there's no way for you. The, the, the thing is that because Ed hands were like this, as LeBron's hand crosses and hand, it looked like as if LeBron slapped the hand. But the reality of it, the ball was slapped. You know what I mean? And of course, LeBron's hand was above Ant's hand. It just looked this way. In the game of that magnitude, down the stretch of the game, I don't think that's the right call to make.
that's
Especially
a
after
great call.
you've made this kind of mistake that the referee made in the game.
It's a great call.
But
Just
they
like the
made a
Knicks.
lot of mistakes. They
Hey,
made a lot of mistakes in that game.
what'd y'all say for the Knicks? You gotta, bring your A game. Suck it up. On to the next, right?
I mean, I ain't
I
say
mean, it's
that.
the same thing for the Lakers as well. It's the same thing for the Lakers as well. We're just criticizing the particular call, but it's the same message for the Lakers. Like I said, there's a lot in my mind for me to talk about the Lakers in terms of responsibility and accountability.
But we'll wait.
But
We'll wait for that. Yeah, we'll wait for that.
So tell me who y'all got? Knicks or Detroit?
Where's that?
Knicks.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. 4-1.
What you say, Rudy?
yeah, I think I am siding with Nate, but maybe for a different reason. I think well, first of all, if we want to talk about the Pistons, although we all, as basketball fans, we all have to be grateful. I mean, we have to be grateful for the level of basketball they have displayed over the year as opposed to last year. The coach, I think, did a great job. The best player in Cade Cunningham, of course, he did a great job, although I'm not such a big fan of his because I have a little trepidation with anybody as the first option on the team when you ball hog this much and you not a natural point guard. You can hide this by having some kind of assist just like he does, but I think there's some flaws.
What?
I'm not such a big fan of him as somebody who's the first option. But overall, they have a great year. They show grit. They show character. They show intangibility. I think they just one or two pieces away from making a noise, especially in the East. So, but having said all of this, I think that playing tonight in New York, I think the atmosphere is going to be too much for them. The experience, the expectation is going to be too much for him. They will compete. I'll tell you this: they probably have two great quarters, maybe the first and the second one, and starting to third quarter, I think that the energy they're going to be running out of energy, running out of gas, and ultimately, I can foresee the Knicks taking over and win by 5 or 7 points.
Listen, the Pistons are going to win tonight.
Whoa.
Who's going to win?
The Pistons.
The Pistons
Whoa.
winning tonight?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
I mean,
Man, back. Isaiah Stewart is back tonight. The cap
Oh,
stopper.
okay.
He is back. He's a cap stopper.
I mean,
all
I
that
didn't
bullying
foresee
Cat
this in the
did
picture. I
against
didn't
Tobias
know that he
Harris.
was gonna come back. And hell, I'm completely oblivious of his interaction with Cat. Yes, I know that he's very tough. He has grit, he has character. And then although Cat is not a scrub, he's not a punk, but I can foresee a situation where a player like Isaiah being very
Physical.
very petty with him and obviously alternate his performance. We'll see what happens, but this alone RJ should not take away from the magnitude of the moment. They're going to
No,
play
of course not.
in New York. The expectation, how the crowd in New York can be as loud and theatrical they can be. So I'm not sure whether the Piston is ready for that type of moment.
No, for me, it's just saying because, well, I was saying Isaiah Stewart because of, like, you can't have Tobias Harris taking Cat.
Yeah.
You can't. Too small. You seen the tough shots Cat was making from time to time in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Cat's been looking very good. This dude,
He looked good.
Stretch of the game, thinks like he's Michael Jordan of the world.
Exactly. Shooting threes from deep.
Deep.
Step back three. Post
And
up.
it's
Fade
quick
away.
too. Get it up quick.
So like I said, I mean, for them to win, Isaiah Stewart has to be Isaiah Stewart.
But also, RJ, one thing, like I said, we all can be very appreciative about what Pistons has accomplished this year.
Of course,
but also, there's some flaws that I think, should I say flaws? But there's some flaws, I think, in the best player in Cade. Cade, I think he's naturally a scorer. You know what I mean? He's not a point guard. He has point guard skill, as in he can dribble the ball. But I think naturally he's not a point guard. And you can tell by certain mistakes that he makes sometimes. Sometimes he will have two people guarding him and still trying to drive it to the basket. Hell, sometimes they will block. There will be no space for him to drive to the basket. The only thing you want to do is drive to the basket just for him to score. I know that's your number one option. I know that you can take the ball to the hole, but the true point guard, as somebody who has consumed so much of the ball, you need to develop certain reflex for you to see who's open, who's not open. Or sometimes all it takes is the IQ. All it takes is to get somebody involved. All it takes is a great pass from you as a point guard to the next guy.
Yes. Hello, Rudy. You can hear me? At the same time, what pieces do we have? You make it seem like this man. You make it seem the man playing with he's playing with Tim Hardaway, who the Dallas Mavericks who never wanted him. He playing with Malik Beasley. I'm not saying they can play. They just know for shooting.
I don't know. You're shifting the conversation right now, but these are the same kind of players that made them where they are.
No, what you mean? Made who?
They made the Pistons. They made the Pistons make the playoffs. And obviously combined with the coach, and of course, I'm not taking nothing away from Cade. But what I'm trying to have you understand is that Cade is a good player, but for them to go to the next level, he cannot be the main point guard because the reality of it,
Why not?
Because ultimately, RJ, and this is exactly okay. Let me slow down. Ultimately, what's gonna happen, RJ? You're gonna make your team so predictable. You're gonna make your team so slow because they know what you're going to do. As a point guard, your best ability as a point guard is your best ability is your it reside in your passing ability as well, in the fact that in the fact that you can foresee things before they happen and look for people who are in the right spot. It's not about you scoring. If you want to be a scorer, go ahead being a scorer. But any successful team with a player like him consuming so much of the ball, hogging the ball so many times, I don't think it's the right thing for him to do down the stretch of the game, wanting to go to the basket when everybody's going to be on you. You might try, but at least ultimately you can kick it out for somebody to shoot. He has many people around him that can shoot, RJ.
Yes, but at the same time, Rudy, this is what I'm saying. Who's out there for him to be passing the ball so many
We
times?
have Grizzlies, we have Tim Hardaway. They are the best shooters in the team.
Come on, bro. They sometimes if you watch the Pistons throughout the whole
it's not
year,
sometime, RJ.
Bro,
look at what they average, RJ.
Doing...
Look at what they average.
What's the average?
Tobias
11 points a game.
Tobias straight.
RJ, they are shooters. Look what Beasley has done in the past 4 games.
I know.
Look what Tim Hardaway has done. You can even make an argument that he was the best player. Well, you cannot say best player, but shooting wise, this dude he liked the whole arena, RJ.
Trust me.
So you're not passing him the ball.
I watch every game.
Or maybe you don't feel comfortable passing him the ball down the stretches because of your own mentality. Because a shooter is a shooter. They're going to shoot the ball.
No. Listen.
Now, am I wrong?
Listen. This is pretty much the same team that was from last season. And K is what did K do? He turned around the season. Bro, they won only 15 games last season.
RJ, they didn't have Beasley, they didn't have Tim Hardaway, RJ. Not to take nothing away from
when Beasley and Tim Hardaway was so
or
great,
because they know how to shoot, RJ. And then we're going back to the same issue that I have. We're going back to the same issue that I have with the Bucks, the same issue that I'm having right now with Luka. The reality of it, the Bucks, they didn't have an offensive scheme to allow Beasley to grow and thrive. He's a shooter, RJ. Any shooter can vouch for me, please. Any shooter can tell you when they play with a point guard, somebody who emphasizes on passing the ball, shooters going to thrive like this.
So that's a fact.
That's a fact. Ask you a question. So Beasley thriving right now, right?
Both Beasley and Tim Hardaway.
Are they thriving right now?
I'm saying that they're having a better
in a way.
They're having a better year because the focus of the coach. Hold on, RJ. You're trying to use my argument against me. Because the culture here at Piston is one. The coach emphasis is on the perimeter shooter. That's the coach emphasis. Of course, Cade, he's a good player. Hell, he's going on to be a star in the league. What I'm telling you, RJ, is some flaws in his game as far as the point guard position, not as a two guard, not as a shooter. He has growing. All of this. What I'm saying is, as somebody who has the ball in his hand all the time, you need to develop your respect as in spotting who's at the right spot for you to shoot the ball. You don't necessarily have to take the ball to the hole down the stretch of the game. That's not your job as a point guard. As a point guard, you need to galvanize, you need to spot, you need to situate. All the players know who's who to take the right shot at the right time. I don't see him having this, although he's a good player. That's all my point.
I understand what you're saying. Like we said about Jalen Green, this guy, he's developing his game. He's an all-around player. How many 6'7" guys who could do what he's doing as a point guard position? Not a lot of them.
I'll give you that.
He could shoot three at some times. He could obviously you see he passing the ball. He get 9 assists a game. He can rebound.
I mean, if you want to make the point that of course he can develop this skill, I cannot argue with you. But I was assessing his current position right now, his current situation right now, because at time down the stretch, the New York team or the coach uses this against him because they know that he's gonna want to score the basket himself. What they do is just double team him, and he fails most of the time to kick the ball out. I've seen. But
the thing is, I feel like what they missed, and they missed another playmaker too. They missing another playmaker because
Don't you see? You're making my point. Don't you see how?
But no, I bet said this too. On
So
the podcast.
don't you see how it's not even? You see, Dennis Schroeder.
He's a
You know how
playmaker, but
many
he's
times Dennis Schroeder have saved them? We don't even talk about this. I
Yeah.
think that Dennis Schroeder, they need to find a way. They need to find a way to have Dennis Schroeder cohabitate with Cade more. They need to give Dennis Schroeder much more playing time, playing with Cade. Matter of fact, I would even suggest to have Dennis Schroeder as a point guard and then have Cade as a two guard and then have a good solid shooter. You can alternate between Beasley or Tim Hardaway, and then obviously they have the center in doing. You know what I mean? So if they have this, if they find a way to initiate Dennis Schroeder as a point guard, there will be much more coordination. There will be much more fluidity in their offense. I'm not sure about defense how it's going to look, but in terms of offense, there will be the schematic that will be better for them.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what they have a shooter in the fourth quarter when like with the last 5 minutes left.
Yeah, he need to play more.
But that Detroit team, they have to get more guys. They can't. They just can't. They need more playmaking, bro. K can't be the only playmaker on the team.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when he go to the bench, that's what the league cut to like 5-3 or Knicks take the lead. Because when he playing, it's like the team is going crazy. But once he go to the bench, they lost the lead. The K got to come back in the game, score like 6 points, 8 points in a row.
But score first kind of
yeah,
guy.
Of course. I mean, most point guards are score first now.
Most point guards.
What you mean? Who's not a score first as a point guard?
Chris Paul.
The man. I don't think he started. He starts.
Yeah, he starts. Yeah, he starts.
Okay, Chris Paul.
Let's see
exactly,
here. You got
exactly. Yeah, I don't. You gotta say it because I already know. But on to the next. Nuggets versus Clippers series tied 2-2. How can Clippers slow down Joker for the rest of the series?
Slow him down.
Just the best series.
Yeah, it is. No, it is for sure. Shoot, that putback. They went on a putback dunk. Like, come on, bro. You can't slow down Joker. I mean, like, you can slow him down. Obviously, you can slow down anybody, but like, they just gotta. I don't know. Like, Kawhi got to keep playing at a high performance. James Harden got to step it up some more. Zubac's been playing good, but it's
your guy got to step up. Your guy
Who?
got to step up. Powell, your guy got to step up. Yeah.
Whose guy is that? Mine or Rudy's?
No, yours, Nate.
Powell. Oh, Norman.
Yeah, Norman Powell.
Oh,
he
Powell.
had to step up. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he start?
Yeah.
Yeah. He do. It's tough. Like, I mean, Kawhi been going crazy. It's like, and you got James Harden who got the ball, so it's like either James Harden gonna score, he gonna get the assist from the big, or to Kawhi who's scoring, and then it's just Norman Powell. He's just there, you know. He's not really in the offense like that.
But I feel like Norman Powell is he's a wild card though.
He's a what?
Yeah.
Wild card.
What does that mean?
Like someone that you can't run the offense with, but he could just get his buckets timely anytime.
Yeah, that's the point, because what happened with the success that he had during the regular season, it was secondary to the fact that Kawhi Leonard was not there, and he was the second. Well, matter of fact, offensively, he was the number one option offensively. He's the kind of dude that.
Wait, hold on, Rudy, hold up. You heard that, Nate?
He said offensively.
Do you hear this? You hear this?
Offensively.
Do you hear this? Why he was averaging
20 points. Still second.
Because
I got him
no,
at second.
my bad, Rudy. But Nate was saying that Norman Powell was better than Austin Reeves as third option.
Before the All-Star break, Rudy. Before the All-Star break. Yeah. There's a big difference. Because
I mean, it's a long debate. It's a long debate. I mean, I don't know. I can understand where you're coming from, Nate, because of obviously his high, the ability to shoot the ball both behind the arc and go to the basket as well. There's not much flaws in his game overall because he's bigger and stronger than Austin Reeves. But the cachet on Austin Reeves, the fact that his stocks is predictable on his IQ and his ability to shoot the basket also, and he has crazy handle as well. I know he's a white boy. He's a white boy. He's not dunking the ball. You feel what I'm saying? But he has crazy handles.
He got crazy.
Austin Reeves has
He got
crazy
handles,
handle,
bro.
Nate. We don't pay attention to this,
bro. The man not athletic, bro. He's not athletic. The way he's scoring is from his handles.
Nate. Austin Reeves is way faster than we ever think of. Austin Reeves' handle is way greater than we ever think of. We just don't pay attention to it. But yeah, let's go back to what I was trying to say about Norman Powell. I think the success that he has was the fact that Kawhi Leonard was not there. And then he's the kind of player, although he can catch and shoot, but at the same time, his game is not predicated on catch and shoot. He wants to feel the ball. He wants to have the ball in his hand. You want to feel like he's the first or second option. You know what I mean? But initiating Kawhi Leonard as the first option and then the ball hog of James Harden, it just doesn't flow for him the same. He'll still give you 10, 15 points every now and then. He still show you that he can shoot the ball. But it's just not the right situation for him to be at the best. That's exactly what it is.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think he should come off the bench?
I would.
It's kind of like there's two sides to it. Coming off the bench, you see that he will lead the second unit. And, of course, that probably will put him in position for him to score more. But I don't know how it feels. I don't know if at this point in his career, for what he's already shown, how does he feel about himself coming off the bench? You know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't know. I just don't know.
That plays a part, man, coming off that bench.
Yeah. But Rudy, ask the question. I don't think he answered the question.
What was the question again? What would the Clippers do to slow down Jokic?
How can Clippers slow down Joker?
I don't think slowing, there's different way to cut it though. I don't think slowing Jokic down in terms of number, I don't think that's the right way to go. I think the right way to go is to have him least effective, as in what? He can put numbers, but hey, you need to reduce the passes, how much time you get people involved. You know what I mean? Because this is how Jokic become way more effective, and his ability not just to score the basket, but have rally the whole team around him and take them to the promised land with his passing ability and, of course, rebounding ability. So it all comes down to how and what the Clippers decide to do with him, how they're going to attack him. You know what I mean? How they're going to address this. Are you going to allow him to score and not let him get people involved, or are you going to let him become the Joker that he can be, which is that averaging a triple-double in the series, which already happening? I don't know. I picked the Denver Nuggets to win the series in Game 7, and I'm still holding on this. But I will be the first one to tell you as well that the Clippers, they have shown a different side of them with the acquisition of the assistant coach that Tyrone has. This dude is doing a great job in the background.
What's his name? Stan
Van. There's a Van in his name. The old dude. He knows basketball, and I think he rallied the whole team around him. And Tyronn Lue has a lot of respect for him. I think he has helped the Clippers locker room. He has helped even James Harden to remain focused, as we seeing a different version of James Harden so far in the postseason. So far has been so great, right? James Harden is not fading away. You know what I mean? He's been representing for the Clippers.
Hey, Nate, like I told you about James Harden, I told you he was gonna do this.
Yeah, so he's been playing great for them. So
You laughing? I
I
told
picked
you.
the Denver Nuggets in Game 7. I'm still sticking with them, but at the same time, I would not be surprised if it goes in as Game 7 because for sure, trust me, you're going to Game 7. I would not be surprised if the Clippers take them down in Game 7 with a brilliant performance of James Harden and Kawhi Leonard as he's been doing great in the season so far.
Listen, Clippers winning tonight. They win in 6. I had them at 6. Clippers winning in 6.
First off,
Listen
Not
tonight.
happening.
Listen. Kawhi gonna come in and play tonight. He gonna come out and play like a super. Kawhi gonna do everything what he could do to win tonight.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
Game 6, I guarantee you, if they win tonight, Game 6, you know who's gonna be the MVP of the game?
James Harden.
James Harden. Watch. Watch.
First off,
who you got winning tonight?
the Nuggets are winning in 6. Let me just throw that out there right now. There's not going to be no Game 7. It's going to be Nuggets winning tonight, and they're going to win the next game. Jokic is going to go insane tonight. Next game is going to be Jamal Murray. He's going to close it out. Watch.
But you can't say that because Jamal Murray has not played Jamal Murray basketball.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be
Sometimes
the closer.
Jamal Murray makes me think that he was only good for the Lakers.
Exactly.
Okay. Watch.
Nate, I would side with you from the standpoint that they might win tonight. I give it a 50-50, but I will side with you from the fact that I think that Jokic is so great, and I think the crowd at Denver Nuggets is so loud, and of course the atmosphere is going to be so different. We know how hard it is to play over there. I think it's probably going to be a little challenging for the Clippers to win tonight. I can foresee the Denver Nuggets like have a hard game and finish it and move 3-2 tonight and then go back to the Clippers. I'm giving it to the Clippers and then come back home. The Clippers will wrap a bow on the series and move on as I predicted. I can see them win tonight, but going back to the Clippers will win.
Okay. We'll see about that.
All right, but on to the next. I know Rudy got a lot to talk about. So Minnesota versus Lakers Wednesday, man. What adjustment do you think Lakers need to make to win Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7? Go ahead, Rudy. Say what you gotta say. Well, hold on. I want to I know you're gonna have like a 2-minute, 3-minute segment for yourself. So I got something for you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think it's about goddamn time, like Skip Bayless would say. I'm ready to unleash on the whole matter. Matter of fact, I wanted to do this podcast for me to just talk about the goddamn Lakers for once. We need somebody to just spill the tea and talk the main issue of the damn Lakers. Everybody, I've been so sick of everybody talking about the Lakers. Everybody been beating around the bush, talking about all the peripheral problems that the Lakers have. But the main issue, barely anyone talks about it, and I'm here to unleash on it. Let's just talk about the series. As we all know, unfortunately, the Lakers, they down 3-1. Something that anybody who understands basketball, anybody who's been watching basketball, it's a complete anathema. It's a complete opposite of what we expected. Because on one side, you have the greatest player of all time. And combined with Luka, obviously, he's on his prime right now. He just turned 26. He can score 25, 30 points on a night. He can roll off his bed and score 30 points. On one side, this is what you have. And on the other side, you have a younger dog. Yes, unexperienced, but he's very skillful. Can shoot the ball, can go to the basket, do pretty much everything. Combined with Randall, combined with Rudy Gobert, best defensive player of the year 4 times. We get all of this. But the history of the game screaming that the Lakers should be the one leading 3-1 right now. But this is not what is happening. The question, RJ, is why is this happening? And I'm going to tell you the reason why. The reason why is because of Luka. Here's the thing about Luka, Nate. Luka is like money. Luka is a double-edged sword. What I mean is that just like money can be a good servant, right?
Yeah.
But a very bad master. A good servant, as if you use it the right way, it will serve you. But if you let money control you, become your master, it's gonna be a problem. And I'm looking at Luka, it's the exact same thing. He can be a good servant, as in if he's scoring and passing and rebounding for the team. But he can be a very bad master, as in what? If he only scores the ball and don't give a damn about passing the basket, don't even a damn on defensive side of the ball, or don't even damn about rebounding the ball, which is exactly what we've been seeing in the series, and that's exactly the reason why the Lakers are where they are right now. It's because of Luka. Back two and a half months ago, the whole entire basketball world gets shocked because of what? Because the Dallas Mavericks, they decided to trade Luka. The reason why the whole entire world was surprised, was shocked, in a white man's word, we were flabbergasted. The reason why is because of the offense that we all know that Luka has, because of what we've been accustomed to him doing on the offensive side. Yes, we get all of this. But every now and then, what we'll see happening, just like everybody was surprised, every now and then, we'll see something is percolating to the surface to show the world, hey, maybe, let's just pump the brake, maybe the Dallas Maverick organization was not all wrong. Because what I'm seeing right now, it looks like, yes, this dude is a bona fide scorer, but we all know that the history of the game is screaming that alone is not enough for you to win championship. That's what we call winning championship. That's what we call winning playing basketball. We saw this in segment of Michael Jordan's career. We saw this in the segment of Kobe's career. They can score a lot, but it took Michael Jordan, the arrival of the great Phil. It took Michael Jordan, the arrival of Scottie Pippen, for him to teach him, hey, you need to get everybody involved. It's a team game. You cannot make it to the top by yourself. You know what I mean? So every now and then, Luka is showing us maybe the Dallas Maverick was right, because Luka, for once, I have to say it, Luka doesn't play winning basketball. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have the ability to do so. He can. But as a 26-year-old who always needs some kind of advice, who always needs what we call self-accountability, this is exactly what the Lakers need right now. Lakers need what we call self-accountability. Lakers need to look at themselves in the mirror and say that, Luka, you are the problem. As in what? Luka, you need to stop hogging the ball. If you are the bona fide scorer that you are, we don't give a damn about you taking as many shots as you want. But hell, you don't have to take 5 hours before you take the shot, because what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen. When you take as many shots as you do, and when you take as long as you do for you to take the shot, this is going to trickle down in the entire team. Nate, you can vouch for me as a shooter. You cannot just sit around and waiting for Luka to take 5 hours to take a shot. We don't care about the amount of shot that you take, but it's the length of time that you take for you to take the shot, and ultimately that will affect the team negatively. Luka is the problem because he's not playing winning basketball. We get confused by the 30-point that he scored. We get confused by the 40-point that he can put down. But we're not looking at the overall team. We're not looking at the defensive side of the ball. We're not looking at the chemistry. We're not looking at the fluidity. We're not looking at anything like that. That's the problem. The Lakers need what we call self-accountability. The Lakers need to look at themselves in the mirror and have the strong conversation with Luka. Luka, you are the problem. And I'm sorry, you can score 30 points, but we're losing because of you. The only game that the Lakers has won so far in this series was the second game. Guess what happened? The second game happened after the first game where Luka scored only one assist. The Lakers lost. You know what I mean? In the second game, he came and scored 5 or 6 assists and has everybody involved. The Lakers won easily. Guess what? He came back in the third game with the excuse that he was sick. Guess what? No assist. In the fourth game, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. What the hell does that mean? Nate, you play professional basketball. What does it mean to have somebody with the ball in his hand for over 80% of the time and only score 1 assist? I mean, 2 assists? Really? In a meaningful game like this? In a game of magnitude, you mean to tell me that the whole time you have the ball in your hand, you don't try to create not one opportunity for somebody to score the basket? That will affect the game. You know what I mean? You can talk about how the Lakers, they don't have the right piece. We can talk about how old LeBron James is. We can talk about how new the coach is. But ultimately, when you have somebody in your team, I don't care who that is, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, I don't care who that is, for the fact that you have the ball in your hand for such a long period of time, and you don't create no opportunity for nobody, that will affect the team. To answer your question, RJ, Luka is the problem. We need to have a strong conversation with him, starting from LeBron James, starting from the coach. Now, as a solution, here's the solution. The solution is LeBron needs to get back and play as the best player of the world. What does that mean? As opposed to Luka having the ball 85% of the time, LeBron James needs to have the ball 55% of the time and let Luka has the ball, I would say 25% of the time, and then let Austin Reeves have the ball 20% of the time. That's the recipe. If you have LeBron James having the ball 50% of the time, and this is exactly my argument about LeBron James being the GOAT, and you can see the glaring difference between somebody who can just score the basket and how this impact winning. Luka can score as much as LeBron James, but hell, we all see that they don't have the same impact. You know what I mean? First of all, in the defensive side, he don't do nothing whatsoever. You know what I mean? LeBron James will score as much. He will play defense. He will have the IQ to coordinate the game. He will have everybody involved. Luka, he can do this, but that's not his intention. LeBron James, he needs to have the ball 55% of the time, because when he does this, everybody will be involved. Everybody will be invigorated. Everybody will be motivated. The defense will be better. Everything will be better if LeBron James has the ball 55% of the time. Of course, you have to include Luka in 25% because this is how it is. He's a crying baby. If you don't have the ball, he will be crying. You need to give him the ball 25% of the time. But for the sake of saving the series, we need LeBron James to have the ball more and less Luka. When he has the ball, he can go ahead and just score. And then the 20% we have Austin Reeves to have the ball because he can score, he can pass the ball as well. That is the solution. The problem is Luka hogging the ball too much. And the solution is LeBron James has to take the front seat and take the wheel again as the best player who ever played the game.
just like what's the guy named Young Dog said? Preach.
Woo!
Oh.
Glad you let that off your chest, Rudy.
Yeah, preach.
Though some of it was wrong, but I'm just glad you got it off your chest. Because
what was wrong?
Huh?
They're not winning no games if LeBron's the best player on the team. That's Luka's team. Everybody
But what Rudy is saying, the impact LeBron has to winning, his impact is you can see it on the floor. He has to be the best player on the team. That's what he's saying.
So why is he shooting 9 shots?
Who?
LeBron. He's
shooting 9 shots. Nate.
Nate, he went to the free throw line 16 times.
Nate. Here's why my argument for LeBron James as the GOAT. And it took me a long time for me to jump on the bandwagon. Because growing up, I fell in the propaganda that you have to look, walk, and shoot like Mike for you to be great. But watching LeBron James for a long period of time, and I said that, I'm like, maybe it's my own ability, my own understanding of the game that has to rise to a level for me to start appreciating the way that this dude played basketball. Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We all know that. Yeah. LeBron's greatness doesn't display the same way that Michael Jordan gets to display. Michael Jordan's greatness is in the jump shot. He will be in the air. LeBron James is pretty much everything. He's in the IQ. Is it in athleticism? Is it the control of the game? Is it on the defense? It's spread and scattered everywhere. Where I'm trying to go with this, Nate, although LeBron James may not be technically the best player on the court, but he needs to be practically the best player on the court. What it means is that although Luka can score better than LeBron James, obviously he's only 26, and I think he has. Can you make a comparison? Does he have a better shot than LeBron James? Anyway, both of them scored awkwardly anyway. You know that. But Luka is only 26. You know what I mean? LeBron James' IQ can span over the team in a way for them to win. LeBron don't have to score 26 points. When he scored 26 points, he would not be 26 points. You'll be 26 points and a little assist, and a little controlling, a little everything, as opposed to Luka. To Luka's credit, it's not that he don't have the ability. He does have the ability. But the thing is, Luka's intention is not the same as LeBron James. Luka's looking for him to make an assist. LeBron James is looking for a pass. If the pass turns to be an assist, great. LeBron James will galvanize everybody around him. Luka is only looking for a lively of the world for him to just, alive to lively to make an assist. Luka is the problem, Nate. Trust me. He can be technically the best player because he's younger, but practically, in all practicality, LeBron James has to be the best player. He has to be the one controlling the pace. Other than that, yes, we can have the lead 10, 12 points, but if Luka played the way that he's been playing, it's going to be the same consequences, as we all know. And Saturday is to keep repeating the same thing and expect different results. You know what I mean? So you cannot play this way and expect to win against the Wolves. Luka makes the Lakers too predictable. Luka makes the Lakers too slow. That's exactly why we've been losing.
This is interesting because he was playing like this when he got to the Lakers.
No, he
wasn't playing that.
You see, you're not paying attention, Nate. Go back to the record. The record will show he was not playing like this.
He wasn't playing like that.
He was not playing like this.
Yeah,
He was
no. It's because they winning. It's because they was winning. That's why y'all say
no.
He wasn't playing
No. Oh my God,
no. He was getting 8 assists a game.
Nate, can you
get 2 assists? 1 assist.
Nate, I want you to walk away from being a Michael Jordan fan and look at basketball for what it is. Can you imagine yourself? Listen, RJ, did I not tell you back 2 or 3 years ago when you received a call from, I think it was the Warriors and then Atlanta and then it was Dallas also. I told RJ, I would much more rather see you playing against around somebody like Jokic, around somebody like even Atlanta, but not Luka. You know why? Because Luka is about giving the ball. If you're wide open, I give it to you. But the flow, the offensive flow is not the same with Luka. He don't flow it. You feel what I'm saying? The fluidity is different. If you play with somebody like Jokic, he will pass you the ball all the time. If you play with somebody like what's his name at Atlanta, he's a true point guard who will pass you the ball. You will thrive. But somebody like Luka, you have to have created a name for yourself first before he passes you the damn ball. It's totally different. It's not that, the funny thing, it's not that he don't have the ability. He has the ability, but his intention is totally different. His intention is to be like Mike, is to score like Kobe, and even damn about the whole team. That's the problem that the Lakers have.
That's interesting. I mean, I would say this is probably the lowest he's gotten assists, but it's crazy how his characteristics has changed now that he's about himself. He's not for the team because he usually gets a lot of assists.
Here's the thing, Nate. Great point. Here's the thing. Luka has always been like that. But the thing about him is that in the Mavericks, maybe the conversation was more consistent as far as getting him back on track. But he was still the same kind of player. He's a player that hogged the ball a lot, but hogging the ball is not even the problem. Hogging the ball is one thing, but when you don't pass or when your team is losing is another thing. If you're losing and you don't make no adjustment, then what are you? You were insane. It's just like insanity. It's just like doing the same thing. You need to adjust. You need to adjust, and we adjust hell if you have to. That's the problem. The problem is that has been going on for a long period of time. Now we down 3-1. I don't even dare about nobody telling me that the Lakers need one piece. What do you want? A perfect team? A perfect league? A perfect? No. Jesus is not going to come down and save the Lakers. The ability of the team to adjust, the ability of the coach to read, make the right reading and make the right adjustment on time. This is what makes a team. There's no perfect team. You can pick and choose any team, both West and East, and see what the flaws and their ability. But the Lakers is the same. If you have LeBron James, if you have the coach JJ Redick, which I think have done a great job so far, if you have Luka, you have Austin Reeves, you have to make it work. I don't give a damn about no other piece that we don't have. The problem is the Luka's holding the ball and it's not getting everybody involved. We have accrued 3 losses so far, and that's the problem.
Man, I'll answer this question. What you think about JJ Redick playing the guy second half?
I give you this, RJ. In all greatness, there's always an insane part of all greatness. And of course, along the road, there's going to be a lot of criticism. But if you look back in all the great coaches, there's always something unorthodox that they do, something eccentric that they do. Matter of fact, something idiosyncratic that they do to show that, yes, I'm different. What he did the other night is something that has never done before in the history of the league. It was something very untraditional, very unorthodox. I'm looking at it as something, it was just a reaction to the situation because he was looking at himself. Hell, I cannot sit Luka and have this conversation that I'm screaming to have with him right now as we're currently playing. I need to do something for us not to go down 3-1. Unfortunately, it happened. I'm looking at it as a reaction. It was a reaction. He wanted to save the day, and he'd be like, you know what? As a coach of my ability, as a coach of my IQ, I'm going to use a different route just for me to save the day. It's so unfortunate that he didn't save the day, and this is how bad, how cancerous the way that the Lakers playing is. It's so bad. I'm disgusted right now. You know what I mean? I'm disgusted because I picked the Lakers. And anybody who understands basketball had picked the Lakers. I'm disgusted that we down 3-1.
I didn't pick the Lakers.
What he did, I know, because Michael Jordan, you didn't pick him because that's not what you want. But
I'm realistic.
Go ahead, Rudy.
Realistic,
Finish.
Rudy.
Hey, let Rudy finish. Go ahead.
You got to be realistic sometimes, Rudy.
So okay. Then who's winning tomorrow, Nate?
Remember, both y'all are.
Who's winning? Who's winning tomorrow? Who's winning tomorrow?
Milkshakes, eggs and steaks, Lakers at 5. You remember that, right?
Who's winning tomorrow?
Now it's Minnesota. It's Minnesota at 5.
Tomorrow?
It's
so
Minnesota
winning at 5? Okay.
It's over.
Let's bet.
Huh?
Let's bet.
I go 6. I go 6. I'll bet 6.
No, how you said 5? You said, Rudy, how you switching it up?
I only bet. I bet on for sure things. I bet for sure.
You see that?
5,
Rudy?
not for sure. 6 for sure.
Okay, after next game, I'll talk to you.
Look, well, it's not gonna be a next game, but all right.
So
I'm good. No bet.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yes,
dog.
sir. Yes,
Go ahead,
sir.
Rudy. Man, what you gotta say, man?
Minnesota.
RJ, I'll tell you this. Maybe I think it's a battle between my heart and my head. I will pick the Lakers to win tomorrow, but there's not much bass in my voice, as you can tell. There's not much bass in my voice, RJ. I'm picking the Lakers because this is what I want. This is what my heart is screaming. This is what my whole soul, if I believe in soul, screaming right now. Is for the Lakers at least to not get what we call a gentleman's sweep. Because I also believe that LeBron James is too brilliant. He's too shrewd. He's too much of a shrewd operator combined with JJ Redick. I think that maybe my soul will communicate with their soul and not listening to all the social media, not listening to all the show talking about, I told you the Lakers missing a piece. No, Lakers missing nothing. What we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and say that we stink because we didn't do what we're supposed to do. Look at the problem and we're going to make the adjustment. Anyhow, I think LeBron James is too much of a brilliant basketball. He probably going to finagle his way to hold the ball tomorrow and just control the pace. If we do this, trust me, if we do this, Lakers in 7. But if we don't, trust me, regardless how well we play, I think he might even be over tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it all contingent upon the Lakers looking at themselves in the mirror, making the adjustment. If they do so, trust me, they will win tonight. And of course, going even to the Wolves and win Game 6, just like LeBron James did back in 2016. I can see all of this, but it's all contingent upon the Lakers look at themselves in the mirror.
This not saying LeBron is 2016.
Hey, Nate, next question. If LeBron put this off, is he like kind of is he good? I'm not saying. I'm just saying how good.
Oh my God,
So,
you want to get
do that? No.
every
I
little
said,
twist and turn.
listen. Look at what I'm saying.
Let me hear.
Do you consider like his greatness like kind of good?
I consider LeBron a great player. This is just
So
how LeBron fans don't.
So you got LeBron at top 2 for now, right?
Top 3.
Hey, listen, Lakers situation already too much for me, Nate. Don't add nothing on it.
Everybody knows if he would have won this year, he would have got it.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie, but Lakers are 7 and they win the championship. Boy, Nate, listen.
Imagine. It's over. Minnesota. Oh boy, y'all was so hype. That's the funny thing, bro. Y'all was so hype. This is why I'm loving it. Because y'all was talking crazy.
Listen, game not over. It's not over.
Game not over. Okay, but 3-1. Okay. This is not old LeBron. Old LeBron, I can see he did it.
Man, LeBron, the only person who could do this.
Good luck.
And he gonna get it done.
Oh man, I can't wait. Oh man.
But hey, an episode, man. Episode 35. Rudy, appreciate you for coming on. Nate, appreciate you for coming on. I know you have a lot to say, Rudy.
Yeah.
That was very therapeutic.
Listen. But yeah, like I said, appreciate y'all boys coming on. Thank you for your support. Everybody, make sure you like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. But I'm out.
See y'all boys.
All right, Nate, it was nice hanging out. We have not hung out for a minute. I hope you're doing good over there.
I'll see you soon, bro. I'll see you soon. Give it about a month.